Hey guys, welcome to my channel Elite Wrestling World. My name is GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here on AEW Dynamite post-show review. Dynamite was a very good show tonight. We are just days away from WrestleDream pay-per-view, which is going to be a fantastic event. It's Title Tuesday. Dynamite kicks off with a video of Jon Moxley saying it's been disconcerting watching Bryan Danielson trying to wrestle himself for the last few years. Someone has to do it for him, and it's got to be Moxley. Danielson will embrace his dark side, and Moxley will be ready, because he doesn't have a choice. There aren't enough people in the state of Washington to stop him on Saturday night at WrestleDream. Moxley will run into the mouth of war. One day he hopes Bryan will understand, but he can't worry about that right now because the stakes are too high. Darby Allin makes his entrance, comes down to the ring, and calls out Brody King. Brody obliges, grabs a mic and enters the ring. Darby talks about their past when they used to stay in crackhead motels on the Indies. Fast forward, Brody was out of a job with 2 kids, and Darby is the one who got him a job in AEW. But he still wants Darby's spot as the face of the company. Brody cuts him off and says he's right, that Darby has everything that he wants. The difference is that Darby has a death wish. Brody doesn't take this for granted, but Darby's probably going to get himself killed. Darby demands that Brody put him out of his misery. Darby slaps him in the face. Brody chokes him, but Darby breaks the hold by smashing him with a rock. Brody is bleeding as officials try to keep them apart. Jake Roberts is backstage with Lance Archer. Don Callis shows up and announces that they have pulled off the first talent exchange in AEW history, and Callis now represents Archer. Renee asks who Jake got in return, and he says he loves surprises. Next up is Hologram versus Komander. Hologram spins around Komander and uses an arm drag to send him out of the ring. Hologram gets him over with a snap suplex. They both hit the mat, a Spanish fly. Komander goes for a springboard move, but Hologram catches him into the portal bomb for the pinfall win. Jake Roberts comes out. Rush, Beast Mortos, and Dralistico suddenly attack the babyfaces. All 3 men put their fists together for the symbol of LFI, with Jake Roberts following suit. Daniel Garcia makes his entrance with a mic. He says it's good to feel the energy because he's been sitting at home and missed this. He thanks Tony Khan for giving him this time. He's been trying to think about what's best for him. He's come to the conclusion that he's one of the best pro wrestlers in the world. That's why it's only right that he stays where the best wrestle, in AEW. This is the Daniel Garcia that AEW builds its future off the back of. He says nobody with a championship is safe. There's a video showing what Swerve has been up to over the last month. Swerve putting in the work in the gym. Swerve returns to AEW Saturday night at WrestleDream. MVP and Shelton Benjamin watch on from backstage. Daniel Garcia is getting applause backstage when he runs into Shibata. Shibata reminds him that he will be winning the TNT title at WrestleDream. Next up is Willow versus Saraya, Jamie Hayter, and Nyla in a 4-way match. Hayter takes out Willow and attacks Nyla in the corner. Hayter hits a double suplex on Willow. Saraya tries to hit her with a chair, but Jamie takes it from her and blasts her with it multiple times. Penelope Ford suddenly runs out with a chair and hits Jamie with it. Saraya hits her signature move on Willow for it to count. Willow powerbombs Holly. She covers Saraya to score the pinfall win. After the match is over, Mariah headbutts Willow on the ramp. Next up is a quick match for Jay White. The commentators say White is just shaking off some ring rust. Jay hits the Blade Runner for the pinfall win. White cuts a promo on Hangman Page after the match. He says Hangman is one of 2 men who knocked him off his path of becoming the AEW World Champion. After he beats him, then he will correct the second mistake and go win the world title. It starts with Hangman at WrestleDream. Next is Mercedes versus Emi Sakura. Sakura takes Mercedes down in the early going. Mercedes overcommits on a dropkick in the corner and is favoring her leg. Sakura takes Kamili out into the barricade. Mercedes grabs the ring. The ref goes to fix the skirt, and that's when Kamili trips Sakura from behind. Mercedes lock her in the bank statement finisher for the submission win. Mercedes and Kamili go to beat up after the match is over, but Statlander runs in for the save. Tony is in the ring and introduces Will Ospreay, who isn't happy about Takeshita ruining his match with Ricochet last week. Callis says last week was very difficult for him emotionally. Ospreay cuts him off and asks if he sent Konosuke out to attack him last week. Callis says we'll drop the ball 2 weeks ago in the World Tag Team Championship match. Callis says he sued to manage the best wrestler in the world, but he threw him away for Ospreay. Ospreay grabs Don and tosses him onto the mat. Takeshita attacks. Kyle Fletcher gets in there and is caught in the middle. Ospreay is distracted and suplexed by Konosuke. Callis hands Fletcher the screwdriver and tells him to use it on Will. Kyle drops the screwdriver and leaves. Ospreay gets the jump on Takeshita. Takeshita with a vicious elbow strike to lay out Will. Ricochet finally runs in and takes out Takeshita with a springboard move. Ricochet hands the international title to Ospreay as the segment comes to an end. It's main event time on Dynamite. Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta make their entrance to the final countdown music. Bryan and Wheeler are hot out of the gate going after the heels until things settle down to Bryan getting beat up in the wrong corner, while Claudio and PAC make quick tags in and out. Wheeler tags in and hits a German suplex on PAC for a near fall. Bryan is out of the mix on the outside later in the fight with an apparent injury, and Yuta has nobody to tag. Claudio tries to talk reason to him, but Yuta won't hear it. Bryan is up and back on the apron, and gets the hot tag. Bryan is ready to kick Claudio's head in and proceeds to do so until PAC breaks it up. Bryan is about to go for the running knee, but he is distracted by Jon Moxley, who has now appeared ringside. PAC has the ring hammer, and the referee is distracted by Claudio. Yuta disarms PAC. Danielson gets PAC in the label lock for the tap-out victory. Bryan and Moxley fight to the back after the match is over, while Marina Shafir blasts Yuta with knees to the gut at ringside. Claudio has the hammer in his hand and he smashes Yuta in the stomach with it multiple times in the ring. Bryan and Moxley fight back into the arena. Bryan takes out Claudio with the running knee. Shafir pulls Moxley out of there, and the rest of the heels take their leave. Bryan does the yes chants in the ring as Yuta lays there in pain. Bryan helps Wheeler up to his feet. The final countdown song plays as Dynamite goes off the air. That's the end of the show, folks. Please guys like and share this video, subscribe to my channel and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.